If you wash it, you can see that it is whitish in color, very transparent, and Madhura Rasa. So these types of Divya Ushadis, where it is occurring? It's occurring on Parthiva Bhumis. So we are able to observe this only in the Mannanur area where there will be a Parthiva Bhumi. So Parthiva Bhumi is a predominant Bhumi which is having all the nutritious things and blackish in color with a moist things. So this is a bamboo predominant plant predominant area, and under the bamboo plants we observed these types of terrestrial orchids which is having these type of features. So this is one of the Divya Ushadhi we are able to observe in that particular area. And the second day we went to for in a Bindu Tirtham and Ishtakameshwari area. So this is a area where we have went through a dry deciduous forest, and after that we enter into an hydrophytic area where a small stream and a river is going on. And this is considered to be one of the divine places, and most of the time the peoples are not allowed to go to these areas. With the help of special permissions from the forest, only we are able to go on this with other persons also. So this is the one of the area we observed on the dry deciduous area. We observed Nadi Hingu. In Tamil, we will call it as the Tikkamali. These exudations are having the similar smell as that of Asafoetida, and it is mentioned in our classic also. It is used as a best kapha, Vadanlomana Drivya, and helps in Vibandham, Anaham, and Vedana Sthabana like qualities. And the peoples of that area are also collecting these exudations and using for various Vedana Sthabana purpose. You can see that a small globule like exudation is coming like this. So these exudations on these areas, terminal buds, or by punching the bark of this tree, they will collect it and use it for Vedana Sthapanam and other things. So many external and internal uses are there. Externally, this is considered to be one of the very good Vedana Sthapanam and Shodhakara. Gardenia is the species, Gardenia gumnifera. Another Gardenia variety also we observed on that particular area is Gardenia latifolia. That plant is also used for these Vedana Sthabana properties. So another plant we are able to tree is a big tree. It's called as Commiphora caudata, Ipcada. Commiphora. So it's belonging to a plant species. What we are using in our Ayurveda regularly is the Commiphora Gugul. So this is another variety of Commiphora caudata. So this also has having a very good Sandhaniya, Vadahara, and Shodhahara property. So if you observe the bark, you can see that the exfoliating bark. So these exfoliating bark are having a peculiar aromatic smell and having a very nice pichilatum and selection of it. When you are touching it itself, you can able to feel that it is having such a type of snigdha pichila gunas. So it is considered to be very good Sandhaniya Aushadha. So again, if you see the informations from the Attapadi areas of near to Coimbatore, Mangar, Navakara areas, the persons are telling that when the two elephants are fighting together and one elephant has got some injury, then the elephants will come to this tree and with their trunk, they peel out the external bark of this plant and they will eat it. So if you ask the local peoples also, if they are having some fall injury or some injuries with some hitting or something, then they will take this bark and put it in the ganges, rice gruels, and prepare the rice gruel and they will eat it. And they will make a paste with this egg white along with this bark of this plant, and then that is applied on the cloth piece and used as a bandhanam on that particular place where the injury has occurred. So this plant has having a peculiar Sandhaniya Shodhakara Vedana Sthabana action. So this is the Commiphora caudata. And you can see that this plant we observed, these photos are from Kollimala. When we went to Kollimala with our college, Coimbatore college students and Vinusar, we observed this plant. So on that time, we took the fruits also. The fruits were opened and it's having such a type of aerial is inside a beautiful plant. So Another plant we are observed is the Kadagam. Usually when we are studying, we heard about so much of Kadagam, one which is doing a purification of water. If you put these seeds on the water, then the water will, turbidity will be get rid of and the water will be clear. So in Telugu it's called as Chilla Giddalu. So one which is doing the purification of water. Tetambaral in Malayalam. So this Kadaga, Ambu Prasadana Kadagam, also we are able to see and we collected some fruits also. So it is considered to be one of the good Pramehara Dravyam, and how we can identify this Kadagam and differentiating it from Kubilu is very difficult. So by seeing the leaf, it is very difficult to differentiate the Kubilu and Kadagam. But if you observe the bark, on here you can see the bark. The bark surface is longitudinally exfoliated, just like our chinja. But in Kubilu, it is not like that. So it's very rough in nature and having longitudinal markings on the stem, then it will be Kadaga. So we observe this Kadaga also, plenty of Kadagas on that areas. And another plant we are observed is Caralluma umbellata. So again, Venugopal sir has previously went there and saw this plant. So it's very easy to identify this plant on that particular spot. And we are lucky to get some plants on their area. And the peoples, those who are shared so much information regarding this plant. So the local peoples, the tribes along with us took this plant and they told that they are using this plant stems for washing the clothes also. And he has demonstrated one thing. So on rubbing this plant by dipped in the water and just on the stone piece, it will produce a profuse froth. And they are eating this also. They will make pickles with the stem of this plant and then they are eating this so that they will not get the so much of appetite also, and the strength of the body will also increase. So these types of plants can be seen in the hilly areas where there will be more rocks and little bit of sand is there. Another plant, same species what we are found in another place actually. This plant is discussing, so I put here itself. This Caralluma adscens variety pipriata. This also will be growing between these rocks itself, and this plant also has having a potency to reduce the fat of our body and maintain the proper agni. So the peoples, those who are going to the foresters, on that time what they will do mean, they will cut the stem of this plant and just wrap it in a cloth piece and went to the forest. So when they are walking, if they feel some appetite, they will just eat it. And by eating this, they will not feel the appetite. And at the same time, the energy will be also maintained properly. So this is a plant which is having so much of nutritious things because it's growing in such a cliff area by taking about the maximum resources from that particular area and sustained for a long dry season also. So like that, these types of plants we can see in these Srisailam areas. Another plant we are observed is the Valli Kanjanaram, the real Valli Kanjanaram, which is having a similar leaf as that of a Kanjanaram. But it is a big climber, very big climber. And it's having the flowers, beautiful flowers is there. And the leaves are used for making the vessels also on that areas. The peoples will making as a plates by pressing these leaves, and they will take the food on this also they will eat. And another important information we got is the seeds. The seeds are good aphrodisiac and tonic. We can powder it and mix it with other things we can take it inside. So this is the Bohemia Valley. And we observed that so many monkeys are there on that area. They are eating these seeds. So it indicates again that these seeds are very nutritious in nature, and we have to look into the usage of these seeds for such type of food materials. And another miraculous observations again by Dr. Venugopal sir in this instant is, sir has heard about the real variety of Lakshmana. Sir is telling that this is the real Lakshmana that is used by the people's Sar's gurus for Vamsavanam and other karma. It's one of the rarest endemic plant of the Sri Shailam area, and we observed on that particular places, certain particular places, this plant. If you observe this plant, you can see that there are some of the red dots will be there on the surface, and the tubers are similar to as that of a small baby like this, and it is having a profuse latex, a whitish latex will be there, and it's having markings on the surfaces and below the surface of the leaves also. And if you put any puncture on any part of the plant, it will excrete milky exudates. This is considered to be one of the divine drug for processing the mercuries and other heavy metals. And it has having so many other properties also. So this is an endemic plant to this particular area. It is a Euphorbia fusiformis, considered to be one of the source for Lakshmana Kanda, or it may be the drug, divine drug that is mentioned in the Divyaushadhi as a Taila Kanda. One of the drug mentioned as a Taila Kanda. Maybe that Taila Kandam also there will be a chances. Because when the mentioning of the Taila Kandam, Acharya is mentioning that Chitra Chadana Chadha Mahaushadhi Saproktam Rasabandham Param Hidam. So if you look at Chitra Chada, there will be so much of marking on the leaves, and Trigona Kanta Samyuktam, and it is having a triangular like Kandam. So this indicates that this may be the real thing, Taila Kanda, which can be used for the processing of the Parada. The third day, we went to the one of the important places is Prabharama Devasthanam. On that area, it's a mixture of forest is there. We can see the wet, dry forests. We can see some hydrophytic forest areas, and we can see some of the grassy lands also, and valleys, long valleys also. On that area, on the plain lands, we observed Blaccharis integrifolia, a plant which is prostately growing on the ground. And from each node, you can see 4 leaves will be arising, and on the leaves there will be so many small hairs, and the flowers as having a peculiar whitish blue tinge. And the same another plant also we observed. Another plant also we observed is Blaccharis madras pattern. In Sanskrit, it is called as Uttangana. Again, from one node, there will be 4 leaves will be arising, and it also has having a peculiar type of flowers, which is having a bluish yellow tinge inside and white. So these types of things are indicating that these plants are having a very rich combination of again Teja, Up, and Vayu tattvas. So a tattva which is having a predominance of Up along with Teja and Vayu, it is having a very important role in Sandhaniya Shodhakara Rasayana purpose. If you see the usage of these plants in various parts of the South India, you can observe that this is considered to be the best Sandhaniya Dravya for various purposes. It can arrest the fresh cut wounds bleedings. It can arrest the bleeding from the eyes. It can regenerate the structures of our body if you are taking internally and if you are applying this externally. In Tamil, it is called as Arthila Puriti. So you can see that here how the leaf will be. So you see the leaf is broken and it is closed together. And if you stick that leaves together like this, and if you hold this in the air, and you can observe that the leaves will not fall down. So it indicates that much of Snigdha Pichila quality that is needed for the Sandhaniya purpose is present in this plant. So these types of very important plants are there in various parts. Another plant is the real Shweta Musari. Usually in the market we are getting a cultivated variety of Shweta Musari. So we observed this Shvedamusali, Chlorophytum tuberosum, in the wild habitat near to a small stream. And we collected that one. It's also a whitish in color. There are plenty of roots are there. And after that, after washing, we just try to eat it. It's very sweet in nature, and the Pichilagunaim is also there. So like that, we can see such type of various types of plants in the divine areas. And another plant, a Divyaushadhi we come to across is Padmacharini. The Padmacharini drug is mentioned in our classics, especially in the Mudra Vikaras and in the Chakshu Vikaras. And in the Anandakanda and Rajanakandu, there will be a detailed description regarding this Padmacharini. So it's a very nice drug that can act on Mudravasodasas. So this is the Padmacharini, one of the source of Padmacharini. We are also observed this Padmacharini there on the ground. It is having 2 leaves. So Hebenaria diphylla, again a terrestrial orchid. We saw a Hebenaria plantagenapis species in the name of Aja. Here it is another terrestrial orchid which is having features of similar like that. Another tuber will be there downwards. This is the Padmacharini, one of the source. And you can see the flowers also. It is whitish in color with a beautiful special arrangements. In Rajanakandu, it is mentioning that if you touch this plant also, you will get some special properties to see some extraterrestrial things like that. But we didn't observe that things. But anyway, we are able to see this plant, and this plant is having tubers, and that tubers are usually used as medicines for various types of mutra related problems. So another plant near to that stream we observed is Ventilaco species, Ventilaco dendiculata species. So this is called as Dineshavalli or Raktavalli like things. So if you observe the stem, you can see that it is very red in color. And this is considered to be one of the Pushtakara Dravyas. Dineshavalli, Adhikaram and other things are there. So it's considered to be the best drugs which can heal the external wounds and oozing out of the things. And it's having beautiful fruits also, Samara like fruits and flowers in the bunches. So this has having a good property of Visarpagara, Pushtagnam and Kandugnam. In the 4th day, we entered into the Amrabad Tiger Reservoir, and beautiful waterfalls and the stream is there. This is the area where we observed so many plants of hydrophytic nature. So one of the important plants we observed is the real Patola, Katu. So it's very bitter in taste. Very bitter in taste with Karkasha Chada, very rough in leaves. Panjaraji Phala, the lines will be there on the fruits. Bija Garpo, so many seeds will be there. So like that, this is the Trichosanthus cucumeriana, variety cucumeriana is the Patola what we observed on that areas. It is, we know that it is one of the best Rakta Shodhana Dravya and Kushtahara Dravya. So on the water flowing area, we observed the Ayapana Triplinava, Ayaparna. This is again considered to be one of the divine drug. The Siddhas of Tamil Nadu areas believe that this is the one of the source for Sandhanagarana. It is having a specific property to arrest the bleeding. It has having a property to shrinken down the structures which are excessively growing as anti-cancerous properties and all like. So this is considered to be some people's as by one of the variety of Bringaraja. That is not mentioned in the books, but they are telling this is the red variety of the Bringaraja, and we can use just like of Bringaraja. So anyway, we observed this plant in its natural habitat with the flowers. So Ayapana Triplinervum we observed in this waterfall, watery stagnated area. And another plant we observed in this watery area, marshy area, is the Indivara. Most of the people are taking as a source of Nilotpala. Again, this is a very good Pitta Dravyam, and various Ushna Rogas that's related to the blood. On that time, we need a Shidahara Dravyam. So one of the Shidahara Dravyam, just like Padma and Kumuda, we can utilize this. So some of the Vaidyas are having an opinion that this is very good for various thyroid related problems too. So this is the Monochora vaginalis, is a beautiful plant which is growing on the marshy areas also. We are observed on that particular place. And another plant we observed in the dry areas of the slopes is the Eucalyptus hamiltoni, Utpalapatra sariva. So nowadays in most of the South Indian markets, this plant's root is selling in the name of Sarima. When we are giving a name to the Sariva to the dry drug stock, they are giving this Eucalyptus hamiltoni. From these places of Andhra and Karnataka and from the Tamil Nadu, all the plants are coming distributing. And nowadays it's become a very rare plant because of indiscriminate harvesting of these tuberous roots. So these tuberous roots used by local peoples as a pickles also. So this is nowadays exploiting heavily from the natural habitat in the name of Sariva. Actually, the real Sariva is Hemidus musculmi, but this is the plant what they are nowadays exploiting and selling in the name of big roots, which is having a flavor similar to that of an ice cream and an odor similar to that of some ice creams like that. This is the Utpalapatra sariva and Eucalyptus hamiltoni. And another plant that is mentioned in Mahaushadhi is Shodhita Lata Kanda. This is a plant which is having an antibiotic-like properties. In Kerala Vaidyas, they are extensively utilizing these plants for various types of Visarpam Vidyadis. So wherever there will be a pus, there will be a pitta and kapha involvement, and in an infectious conditions, this tuberous root is used. So you can observe the anterior and posterior surfaces of these leaves, how much Tejo Mahabuddha is very predominant. And these types of coppery red color on the stem, leaves, and the veins, veinlets, these indicates that it is having a specific affinity to the activity to our rectavasculosis, blood and blood related problems. So this ambulosis indicas flowers also showing such type of things. And if you observe the rhizomes of the tuberous roots, that also red in color. These rhizomes also, tuberous roots also mentioned for purification of various types of minerals and metals. One of the important for converting Parada also mentioned in the Anandakanda. So anyway, the Ambulosis indica is one of the beautiful plant we can see in the natural habitat, and you can grow this plant in our garden also because of its leaves, its stem, all are beautiful, and the roots are possessing these types of properties. And the fifth day, we went to this particular area, Pramaramba Devasthanam. So this area, we able to see some of the important plant which is used for Medhya purpose. A delightful seeing of Jyotishmati, a profuse fruited Jyotishmati we are able to see. And everyone know about the uses. It is considered to be one of the best Medhya Shirovirechana Dravyam, and the seeds are used for various types of properties. So Celastrus paniculatus we are observed. Another is another Lakshmana variety. So you can see that from the tip of the plant itself, another plants are coming. So if you observe here, you can see that at the apex of the leaf, another two daughter plants are coming. And it is having the tubers, small tubers just like an onion. And if you cut open also, you can see that. So this is also considered to be one of the varieties of Lakshmana, Ledoboria revoluta. This is a very edible one and in Shida quality. So maybe there will be two types of Lakshmanas are there. One which is having an Ushna and another which is having a Shida variety. And it's also has having very nice Pichilatha. So maybe it is one of the good Garpasthabana Lakshmana, the what which is mentioned for Shirabhagam and other things. The most amazing day of this visit is the day 6th, where we went to the most divine place of a waterfall, that is the Shaileshwaram area. So here we observed a big tree, that's Shalmali, Bobax malabarka. Usually we know that there will be, this plant is used for Rakta Sandhaniya purposes and at the same time for stopping the excessive fecal matters, Adisaram and Grahani Pichavasti, like that things will be there. But here, how the local peoples are utilizing the Ayurvedic knowledge or their ethno-medico-botanical knowledges for these purposes. So these local peoples, they shared that when they are getting any injury, a big cut injuries, they will take the bark of this plant. So he shown this bark that is in this photo. So it's similar to as that of a flush. So they will mix this with rice flour and make it into a paste and then apply on that particular area so that the healing will be taking place. So like that, when we are going to the field and inquiring about these things from the local peoples, we can able to know that how depthly our Ayurvedic acharyas are studied this and incorporated for these various purposes. And when we are reading and practicing, we are not going to that depth. We are using some prepared medicines only. But once we start to visit these places, and it will help to you to use these things in another level in the clinical practice. And we are able to see one of the divine drug, Aditya Parni, which is moving the leaves. So if you observe the plant, it is just like a Manduga Vattilada. The leaf structure will be having just like a Manduga. And if you observe here, the two leaves are moving. So this is one of the rarest plant. And till now, no botanists are identified such a type of movement in any literatures. But this plant has having a specific power of moving the leaves. And its spreading nature is also having a specificity. So this is maybe the real Aditya Parni that is mentioned in the Rajanigandus and in the Anandaganda. So with the grace of gods and the gurus, we are able to see such a divine and blissful drug in our field visit. Another important drug we saw is Geodorum densiflora. This is also a terrestrial orchid and it is used for various types of Vishakna properties, and some places it is used to regulate the menstrual bleedings. So when we are studying, we will come across with so many Shangapushpis and Campsphora perfoliata, like that things we will come across. We will tell that Shangapushpi is the other thing which is what we are studying is convolvulus pluriculans, or the Shangapushpi we will study is the Clitoria alternata. But Acharyas are clearly mentioned that Shankapushpi, Supushpi, it is a beautiful flower. Shankahua, it is similar to that of a Shanku. And Kambu Marini, it will be placed in a long stalk with a whitish in color. And Vanavilasini, a plant which is growing in the forest areas, not in the common. So we are able to observe this Campsphora perfoliata, which is having a similar as that of Shanku. You can see that here. So a white Shangu like things, and the calyx and the other openings, if you are seeing, you can say it is a very similar to this. So the great gurus are taking this as the real Shangapushpi for Medhya purpose. So if you want to observe these types of plants, we have to go to the fields where there will be a height will be there. And at the same time, we are able to see some of the Vrikshadanis, the plants which is growing on the particular other trees, and they are taking out the nutritions from that plant and it is growing. So it's mentioned that these Vrikshadanis are having a specific property depending upon the plants where it grows. So one which is growing in Amra, it is useful for various types of urinary problems and urolithiasis. One which is growing in the Ficus racemosas, it is good for bone fractures. And if it is growing in the neem, it's used for fever and skin problems. In Anandagandha, two types of Bandhaga is mentioned and a detailed description of Mandaka Kalpa is there. On that, there will be two types. One is Purusham and another Skri. So Purusham is mentioned as without any leaves. And it is having a long, flat, these things. So it can be correlated to Viscum species. It's the Purusham. And one which is having the leaves, it can be correlated to the Loranthus. These two plants are plenty in that particular area. And at the same time, we are able to observe the trees which is having most valuable resins are coming. That is Shallagi, Boswella ovalifoliata. It's one of the endemic Boswella species to the Sri Shailam area. It's called as Konda Sambrani.